Hey, wait, I heard I got shouted out in How Money Works. I'm a narcissist. Let's watch that shit. 50-year mortgages are even dumber than you think. I think they're pretty dumb. I think they're pretty dumb, so you're gonna have to really convince me.
Last 50-year mortgages will effectively double the total interest people pay on their homes. They will undermine equity accumulation. It will make the housing market more rigid than it already is. Introduce significant structural risks to the financial system. Oh, and this whole thing will just make homes more expensive than they already are.
True.
That's a lot more interest, but lower monthly payments. What do you think?
Girl, bye.
Okay.
Wait, Queen. She fucking summed it up. Is this ASU? Oh my gosh, she's from ASU?
Girl, bye.
Okay, so
From
we have
Harvard
to
to
get the
Southwest.
obvious stuff.
She summed it up in. Listen, I made a video about this. How long was my fucking video? 11 minutes 27 long. How Money Works making a video about this? 15 minutes long. She summed it up in 4 seconds. That's the Gen Z difference, bro. Just get it into a short. Why do we need to fucking long form it? It's just dumb. Unless she was saying girl B-U-Y bye. And she was running off to get a 50-year mortgage, in which case I'd have to disagree.
To play devil's advocate and give this the best possible chance of making some sense, some people will try to make the argument first that if you take those monthly savings and invest them into the stock market, your returns could be higher than your interest payments, letting you profit off the difference and putting you in a better financial situation.
Bro, I know he's devil's advocating, and so I respect that, but I hate this argument on so many things, which is like, never ever pay off your debt. Always just put the money in the stock market because it's guaranteed gonna go up more than the It's not a guarantee. It's not, people always like, well, I should never pay down my student loans or my car loan or my house loan or my credit card loans. I'll just take the extra money that I would have spent and I'm going to earn more than the interest cost. And it's like, no, maybe, but if you don't, then you're really fucked. It's not a guaranteed 10%. By the way, you know, my big argument is that like the data we use on that is from 100 years of American global dominance. And so even these numbers are kind of suspect. If you use the UK numbers from their 100 years, it's a lot different than the 100 years after. But even if you say that that's the same thing, it's going to go held true for the future. It wasn't 10% every year. It's not like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It averaged 10%. Some years are down 20, 30. Some years are up 40. You know what I'm saying? It averages 10. You could have some really bad years. The long term was average 10%.
$235 a month invested over 50 years could be $3.7 million, assuming historic market rates of return, which is over 10 times more than the additional interest a borrower would pay on their 50-year mortgage. However, that is if absolutely everything went perfectly. And I already know what all of you live streamers are saying to your chatters right this very second. Almost nobody taking out a 50-year mortgage is going to have this level of financial discipline.
I'm done with this. I'm done with this loop. I'm done with this fucking Hank Green, CoffeeZilla, Atrioc, circle jerk. Okay? How Money Works, circle jerk. Well, it's okay. This is getting incestuous. This is getting incestuous. This is getting incestuous, bro. It's an Ouroboros. I'm taking the other side now. I'm gonna start putting out big A clips about how Trump's killing it and the economy's great. I'm gonna talk about the AI boom, bro. I'm talking about how I'm mixing it up, bro. We gotta get some. That's very funny. That's very funny.
With the devil's advocate shtick at all is because if these financial products do come to market, this is exactly how they are going to be sold to people.
That's actually very funny. You think he was? I feel like he's thinking. I feel like because he's commenting on the big A clips. I feel like he's thinking about this response. I don't know. Is anyone else watching these videos and giving that response? Is that a straight up Atrioc call out?
Optimistically, people are just going to take the money that would have gone to repayments and use it to cover other areas of their household budget. Now, this is optimistic because
the real thing that's scary, the end of the line of this, you know, if you're really trying to just make sure housing prices stay up, is you offer essentially like infinite year interest only loans, like 99 year, 100 year, 200 year interest only loans where you're only paying the interest. You don't pay any of the principal. You never own any more of them. You're basically renting. Yeah, you're just renting it forever. but it's technically yours. And as long as the housing price keeps going up, you can refinance. You could sell the house, cover the full loan, make the profit, right? That is like the end game of if you needed to prop housing prices up, because then people get the absolute lowest monthly payment possible and buy the maximum amount of house price they could afford. And they would just never truly own it. And all of that would keep going until housing prices finally started to go down under that system. And then we would be truly, colossally, generationally salted earth fucked. Once you get to that stage and then housing prices still go down, you are truly beyond hope. You are truly, the financial contagion has breached into every facet of the life. By the way, Canada is not far off from this. Just to be clear, if we're talking end games, like this is sort of close to where like Canada, maybe even Australia is at. Like their real estate is a disgusting portion of their economy. It's a disgusting part of everything.
Even 50-year mortgages were introduced in Japan in the 1980s to assist with housing affordability. All it did was make real estate even more expensive,
worked out great,
contributing to their record housing bubble. But that's fine, because it all ended super well for them, and their economy has been thriving ever since.
Yeah, no long-term effects. Well said. Well said. Japanese real estate bubble. It's just funny because I think I've said this 1,000 times, so I'm sorry to say it again. But Japan really is the canary in the coal mine for like what we seem to be blindly stumbling towards. Like they have made all these mistakes first and shown us the problem, and then we don't listen. We don't, it's like, by the way, Japan is a country that has like a uniquely high level of social stability, and they've invested a good amount in like public goods like trains. And even they are receiving all these negative effects. So we are going to have the negative effects, but with none of even we don't have any, we have the opposite. We have social instability and no public goods. So it's like, what we get, it's like it's a tinderbox, you know? They're like throwing lit matches on a tiny, tiny, tiny little bottle of kindling, but we have a open drum of gasoline and we're flamethrowering it.
The current proposal to introduce 50-year mortgages came from a meeting between the president and the Federal Housing Finance Agency director, Bill Pulte. The FHFA was established in 2008 after the global financial crisis to keep a tighter leash on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The semi-government enterprises tasked with buying up mortgages off regular banks, provided they meet strict criteria regarding lending.
By the way, maybe he's going to talk about this, but it's just so fucked. It's just so fucked. It's so fucked. Because if the government buys mortgages based on certain criteria, then over time, these institutions become very fucking good at gaming the criteria. They study for the test. That's a great way to put it. They figure out exactly what criteria gets the mortgage bought, and then they put in shittier and shittier mortgages that they've sold. It's just crazy, because why even have these middlemen at all if you're going to do this? Either have them take on their own risk or have the government give you money for a mortgage. But having this is a recipe for disaster.
If the Federal Housing Finance Agency instructed Fannie and Freddie to start accepting 50-year loans as well, then that would be the first barrier removed. The second reason why private banks...
These two things are what Melody Wright was talking about in our interview, where she mentioned, Fannie and Freddie are owning like such a massive chunk of American mortgages. Like they've all been built up to sell to them.
Longer loan terms are more valuable when
more
they're
interest,
turned into
more
mortgage-backed
money.
securities because they pay interest for an additional 20 years. Longer loan terms will most likely also enable slightly larger loans, maximizing bank revenue. Now remember, the Federal Housing Finance Agency backup here was specifically created after...
I assume he's going to mention this, but I don't care. I'll pre-watch it anyway. The biggest reason of all, though, is that if you can take out slightly larger loans and that makes the housing prices go slightly up, then we save the retirement of all these boomers who have put all their money into their houses. That is the it's for boomers. At the end of the day, like, yes, banks will win with a larger loan term, but they're winning either way. The real reason politically why they'd have to do this is that boomers are cooked if the housing market crashes, because that is where they put their wealth. So politically, you have to do whatever it takes to prop up not only the housing market, but also the stock market now. We've entered in a dual prop system where the government is like backed against the wall to never let 401ks drop for too long and never let housing drop for too long, or the boomers will collectively open their mouths and unleash Beelzebub from hell. And we're just dealing with it until they die. I'm so anti-boomer lately, in general, but lately. And not that there's, it's on an individual level, I know that many of them are great people. They're just doing normal things on incentives, and a lot of it's incentives. But there really is like just a frustration at their stranglehold over everything, over finances, politics, media, everything. It's a complete stranglehold well past their expiration date. It's frustrating. And obviously it's like the wealthier part of boomers, not like a fucking poor boomer trying to figure it out, but it's frustrating.
The current director of the FHFA, Bill Pulte, is one of the heirs to the Pulte Group, the third largest real estate development company in America.
Oh, this is about...
He is also the founder of Pulte Capital
Pulte's
Partners,
own
a
corruption.
separate private equity firm he started in 2011, which according to their website, makes focused investments into construction-focused businesses like roofers, HVAC installers, and drywallers. That means both the family business and the private equity firm are reliant on people buying and selling homes to generate returns.
The list of corruption is so long that doesn't even register, but it's fucking crazy to hire someone to run a group when he has not one, but two family businesses that are direct conflict of interest with what you need to do in this fucking role. That is crazy. His entire life is built up in businesses that need housing prices to go up and housing sales to continue, and he's in charge of the fucking Federal Housing Authority?
If people lock in a 50-year mortgage at a good interest rate, they will build up equity in their home far more slowly, which means that the current rigidity of the market could be extended for the length of an entire generation. However, that will be a problem for a generation that isn't even born yet. And obviously, it should go without saying, screw those guys.
Yeah.
We have problems to
yeah.
fix right now.
He's
Today,
spitting.
even those households that were lucky enough to lock in low
He's
interest
spitting.
rates on normal terms are starting to
I
struggle.
mean, look, Gen Z's in my chat, and they already fucking hate Gen Alpha. They're gonna hate Gen Beta even more. Let's pass it on to them. Wait a minute. I see what the boomers are talking about now. I see what the boomers are talking about. Wait, you can just pass the buck onto another generation and try to make things better now? We'll call it kicking the can. Wait a minute. Oh, now I'm seeing they should have just said that that's what they were doing.
The true extent of financial hardship in the housing market has become incredibly hard to track because of a trend that is being dubbed extend and pretend. Basically, lenders have allowed borrowers to defer or renegotiate their payment schedules quietly behind the scenes without officially noting them down.
This is
as
directly
delinquent
what
payments.
Melody was saying.
So by restricting how much they can borrow, policymakers can easily influence home prices while also making the financial system more robust. A study on Swedish home prices
Just all demand subsidies come down to this, even the ones that sound good. Every demand even when it's like, hey, listen, more people need to go to college. College is really important. We need to make college more available to everybody. So we're going to offer subsidized government student loans. The reason can always sound good, but when you're doing a demand subsidy, you always get unintentional consequences down the line. We're going to have special tax brackets to let you write off your mortgage insurance. Whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is, you will always get unintended consequences down the line. So you have to be ready to bear those. And they never are. They never do. I think Australia subsidizing a university is good. In theory, the idea is good and there's good outcomes for people. But like Australia, for example, because the government will pay the full cost of the university, there's a lot of fraud in that. A lot of universities are set up in Australia that offer bullshit degrees, and they try to get as many people into them as possible so they can milk the government for money. Like that is a thing that's happening in Australia. That is the unintended consequence of this program. All these programs have unintended consequences because human beings follow incentives. They always have and they always will in every society, no matter what system you have. They will always follow the incentives, especially over time. If you try to do it just by throwing money at it, you will get consequences you didn't expect. And that's why the best methods are usually ones that drastically stimulate supply, which drives down cost. Like that's just a better way to do it. Even if there's unintended consequences there too, but those seem to do better.
Institutional investors have drawn a lot of scrutiny for quietly buying up hundreds of billions of dollars in residential real estate across the country, particularly in areas like the Sun Belt. Today, they are quietly trying to back out of those same investments because the markets they went all in on did not continue to attract the same volume of new entrants.
That's like the third thing from the Melody Wright interview. Did you watch? How many works did you watch? There's like three back-to-back things that Melody Wright talked about, bro. All right, that's three, bro.
As I was putting this video together, Atriok did a fantastic interview.
Oh, wait a minute! I got played! Oh, this is bad. Wait Wait a minute, you son of a bitch! I gotta get back at this guy somehow. This is a human centipede.
With Melody Wright, one of the top housing market experts in America who has effectively been saying the same thing.
Thank you for the shout out, though.
Now, I will leave a link to that full interview because it's worth a watch.
Wait, I should have commented on this. I need to comment and say glizzy glizzy or something.
But to summarize,
okay, why don't we, how money works? Why don't we start some sort of YouTuber collateralized revenue obligation, okay? Where whatever stories we cover, we can package up and sell to investors, okay? And then we can use this, to guarantee views. We can recommend each other back and forth. And then anytime we need our stock value to go up, I'll just announce that How Money Works is mentioning me. And then whenever you need yours to go, I could say Atroc Big A is mentioning you. And we could get a sort of infinite view glitch and then sell our future revenues against that and then make infinite money with no downsides. This is actually, it's a diversified finance tuber portfolio. Wait a minute, this sounds really good.
unfortunately, one group has to feel the pain. And it's just much easier when that group is the people who aren't yet balancing huge piles of debt and overinflated assets. Now, go and watch this video next to find out if the everything bubble can keep itself going forever.
Great video. That was funny. That was funny. I got twice. Okay, we got to start finding some more underground tubers to watch. Because now I'm reacting to things that are covering similar things as me and we're saying similar things. Too much. Okay? I need to find some underground tubers, bro. Find me a pro AI guy. I need to find somebody who's making the strongest case.